Welcome to this explainer. You know that incredibly annoying moment when you slice up a perfectly crisp, delicious apple for a snack, and before you even get to take a single bite, it turns into this unappetizing brown mush? Yeah, we've all been there, and honestly, it's super frustrating. But today, we're diving into the science behind exactly why this happens, and more importantly, the precise chemistry you need to finally stop it. Trust me, it is absolutely fascinating. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the apple browning problem, then dig right into the actual science of browning, cover some proven anti-browning methods, completely expose the kitchen hacks that fail, and finally, look at optimizing apple storage. Let's jump straight into section 1, the apple browning problem. We're going to completely reframe how we look at that sad brown apple slice sitting on your kitchen counter. So take a second and really think about it. Why do sliced apples turn brown? What is actually happening the moment the flesh of the fruit is exposed to the air? How does something so vibrant change its appearance so drastically and, honestly, so quickly? Well, as this quote from the research perfectly captures, browning isn't spoilage, it's a rapid, oxygen-dependent enzymatic reaction. Think about that. This discoloration, it isn't rot, it isn't decay, it's actually this incredibly fast chemical defense mechanism that takes place in mere minutes at room temperature, literally triggered the exact second the apple cells are ruptured. Which brings us to section 2, the science of browning. It's time we come face to face with the microscopic villains of our story and really break down this chemistry. Say hello to PPO, or polyphenol oxidase. This is a fast-acting enzyme catalyst that just sits there, safely stored inside the plant's intact cells. But when you slice, bite, or drop that apple, you rupture those cell walls. Suddenly, PPO is unleashed, mixing with phenolic compounds and oxygen from the air. When they combine, PPO immediately goes to work oxidizing those phenols to produce melanin. Yep, you heard that right, melanin, the exact same dark pigment that determines human skin color. And crucially, this PPO enzyme loves a near-neutral environment, operating best at a pH of around 6.5. Let's track this exact chemical pathway. If you look over on the left, we start with these colorless monophenols and diphenols. Thanks to our culprit, the PPO enzyme, acting together with oxygen, they get oxidized right in the middle there into highly reactive colored O-quinones. Finally, when amino acids and proteins enter the mix, these quinones polymerize into those complex brown polymers you see on the far right. And boom, that is your browning. To break it down even simpler, we're looking at a strict 4-step cellular cascade. Step 1, cell rupture. Step 2, PPO gets exposed to oxygen. Step 3, quinones are formed. And step 4, melanin polymerization. The huge takeaway here is that without that initial cell damage, whether from a knife or your teeth, this chain reaction literally cannot start because the enzyme and the phenols are safely kept apart inside the intact fruit. Now, the crucial players to target here are those copper ions. You'll see them marked as Cu+ and Cu++. You see, PPO is highly dependent on this copper ion cofactor to actually pull off this specific oxygen-consuming reaction. So this right here, this is our target. If we can somehow disrupt that copper or drop the pH level to make the environment totally hostile for the enzyme, we can actually win this battle. Let's get into how we do exactly that in section 3, proven anti-browning methods. We're going to meet the biochemical heroes that can stop this cascade dead in its tracks. Just look at this incredible number, 92%. Our sources highlight a massive 92% reduction in the browning index by using one very specific gold standard method. This wild result is achieved simply by soaking your apple slices for exactly 3 minutes in a 0.5% citric acid solution. It's almost magic. Here are the 4 lab-verified methods to achieve total victory over browning. First up is that citric acid solution I just mentioned, just half a teaspoon per cup of cold water. Soaking your slices for 3 minutes drops the surface pH below 3.0, which irreversibly shuts down the PPO enzyme's kinetics. Number 2 is ascorbic acid, better known as vitamin C. Third, a honey water syrup, that's 1 part honey to 3 parts water. A 4-minute soak in this dehydrates the surface cells just enough to limit oxygen from getting in. And fourth, vacuum sealing, but specifically using a chamber sealer to pull out nearly all the ambient oxygen right before you immediately toss them in the fridge. Actually, we really need to talk about how ascorbic acid works for a second because it's pretty mind-blowing. It essentially functions as a sacrificial antioxidant. When you apply it, ascorbic acid literally takes the hit from the oxygen to save the apple's phenols. It acts as a reducing agent that neutralizes the oxygen first. The data even suggests it can revert those intermediate quinones back into phenols, completely resetting the entire browning reaction. How cool is that? Moving on to section 4, kitchen hacks that fail. Prepare to have your mind blown here, because we are about to aggressively debunk some of the internet's favorite fake heroes. Let's look at this direct contrast. On one side, you have our scientifically proven 0.5% citric acid solution. It reliably drops the pH below 3.0 and chelates those copper ions we talked about earlier, completely halting PPO. On the other side, the absolute most common flawed myth out there, undiluted lemon juice. Pure lemon juice has highly variable acidity, and its huge fructose load creates severe osmotic stress. That stress actually ruptures even more apple cells, releasing extra PPO into the wild. Believe it or not, pure lemon juice actually increases the browning index by 33% by hour 4 compared to using proper citric acid. And honestly, the disasters don't stop there. Let's run through some more of these terrible hacks. Salt water? It increases browning by 67%. The sodium ions actively stabilize the PPO enzyme, practically helping it do its dirty work even faster. Vinegar? It's just too weak of an acid and ends up stripping the apple's protective waxes, causing a 41% spike in browning. A plain water soak just dilutes the sugars and promotes rapid bacterial growth. And coating your slices in thick, undiluted honey? That traps CO2 and ethylene gas right against the fruit, increasing browning by 22%. Just say no to these. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, optimizing apple storage. Because once you've actually treated your slices properly, how do you make sure they stay perfectly pristine? Well, first off, not all apples are created equal. An apple's genetic makeup can change its PPO activity by up to a factor of 5. Just look at this data. A Honeycrisp has almost double the relative PPO activity of a Granny Smith. Because of that sky-high enzymatic activity, your Honeycrisp needs a much longer 4-minute citric acid soak, and it's still only going to last about 7 hours in the fridge. Compare that to a Gala, which has naturally super low PPO activity. It only needs a 2-minute soak and can easily last up to 14 hours. Finally, and this is absolutely crucial, even the most perfect chemical treatments will fail if you ignore basic storage science. First, your fridge temperature is non-negotiable. PPO activity gets cut in half with every 10 degrees Celsius drop. Second, store those treated slices in glass containers with silicone gaskets. It's a far, far better oxygen barrier than plastic. Third, fill those containers to about 90% capacity to drastically limit any trapped ambient oxygen. And whatever you do, isolate your apples from bananas or avocados. The ethylene gas those fruits produce will spike the apple's PPO expression by a staggering 3.8 times, basically ruining all your hard work. So, which leaves us with one final thought. Are you ever going to look at a simple apple slice and the complex science required to save it the exact same way again? I highly encourage you to take these evidence-based techniques right into your own kitchen. Ditch that flawed lemon juice hack, grab yourself some precise citric or ascorbic acid, control your oxygen exposure, and apply your brand new biochemical mastery to conquer enzymatic browning once and for all. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.